Hey guys, it's Boris. I haven't done a traveling vlog in a long time, and this weekend I'm making a spontaneous trip to Buenos Aires, Argentina. It'll be my first time in South America, and I will be there for less than 48 hours, so it's going to be a jam-packed 2 days. You guys will get to travel with me, so it should be a good time. Good morning. I just arrived on Argentinian soil. It's really concrete, but you get the gist of it. Just got off the subway and I'm in a neighborhood right now. And I'm just reflecting of how crazy it is that one day you can be in a city on whichever continent, and you can wake up in a completely different city on a completely different continent. I'm on the bus right now headed to the center of the city again to see an obelisk which will look very similar to the Washington Monument. And this is it, Buenos Aires' Washington Monument, also known as the obelisk. This is the cathedral that Pope Francis used to work and live in prior to becoming the Pope at the Vatican. Argentina became independent. That is where they made the decision.
At
Independence Day, you said it was the 24th of May.
The revolution, yeah, the revolution. The Independence Day was 9th of July.
9th of July. Buenos Aires used to be part of the states of Buenos Aires.
That's right.
And then became independent. It has its own laws, its own mayor, its own constitution.
It's autonomous.
So it's just like an independent...
It's autonomous. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, it's an autonomy. It's an autonomous city. So I just walked to the restroom and the symbols were not like a male or female. It said H and M. So I had to ask a waitress which was which, and it turns out it's H. So this is this incredible steak that I'm so excited to eat. I mean, it's delicious. That building right over there used to be the tallest building in Buenos Aires. Now, interesting story about that building that was just told to me. Supposedly the owner had a building prior to that ever existing, and his daughter used to look across the street to a church. Yeah. And liked a guy that I guess worked at the church or would frequent the church, and the father didn't approve of it at all, their relationship. So what he ended up doing is building this super tall building in between where they lived and the church, so that his daughter would never be able to look at the guy again. And it is a really tall building to prevent your daughter from starting a relationship. So, oh yeah, you can kind of see the church in the corner over there.
It's covered, but
I'll zoom in. So that was the church that he was trying to stop his daughter from looking at the guy from. Okay, I have an amendment to the story that I just told. Basically, the girl was from New Money, and the person she was interested in, the guy, was from Old Money, and his mother really didn't approve of the relationship. So what happened is there is a house where the Old Money people used to live, and they bought a plot of land, which was the church I showed you guys a moment ago, and Old Money people wanted to be able to see the church whenever they looked outside of their house. So what the New Money girl did out of revenge to, this is a confusing story, the Old Money mother, is she built this giant building so they would never be able to see the church out of their house. If you guys followed that story, I congratulate you, because that got confusing. This is Recoleta, one of the most popular places. It's near a few colleges, and there's a lot of bars and restaurants. You can see there's lines outside of each one. I have used the train, the bus, and now I'm using the subway. So pretty much every form of transportation in the city I have tackled in one day. So when I said that it was 48 hours to do a whole bunch of everything, I wasn't lying. There's probably people that have been here for a week that only use one or two, but not all three. It is early morning of day 2, which means my final day. And I just took about a 2-mile run watching the sunrise, and I've come up to a lake that I'm about to run around even further. Beautiful day, like crispy weather, perfect for running. They've got a whole path around this river that I'll just follow. Not this river, this lake. And today should be another jam-packed day. Yesterday I hit over 30,000 steps. Today will probably be double that, given that I'm running in the morning. And then this evening we'll be jumping onto a plane back to Atlanta in time for my 9 a.m. meeting. My run is done. I am now headed to a bakery to buy the Argentinian version of a croissant, which is supposedly supposed to be much better than a regular croissant. And the bakery is just a block away. I ran extra fast and many miles just so that I could indulge a little bit more today, since it is my final couple of hours before I head back to Atlanta. So I'm getting these Argentinian croissants at La Argentina. This smells so delicious. Woo. It's a good breakfast. That is a good breakfast. I'm going right now to see this giant flower that opens and closes. It opens when the sun rises and closes when the sun sets. I was gonna go yesterday for the sunset, but darkness fell really quickly because it is winter time here. But now that it's a fresh morning and the sun is still rising, I'll go check this flower out. And that is the flower. This is the cemetery. It's really beautiful. This is the architecture of a grave that somebody or a family is buried in. It's like it's a competition because every single person's is as ornate. Notice with this building, it kind of just cuts off at the top. And the architect had a vision to complete it, and the president or the government didn't want to fund his idea for the building anymore, so they cut off all funding. And the architect was in such a bad position after that that he jumped from the top and killed himself. So he would have rather killed himself than had an unfinished building. This is Rosedal. It is the final stop that I'm making before grabbing something to eat and then headed to the airport. It is just over 12 p.m. now, like 12:15, and I probably need to head to the airport at 4 to catch my 8 o'clock flight because the airport is a bit further from the city. So just taking in what's left of the short trip and then eating some delicious food while I still can. I've just realized that my sneakers have been to every continent except for Antarctica. So they have served me well. I think once I get to Antarctica, I may need to just walk on ice with them. It has been a good 48 hours. I just ordered my flights and now I'm taking the 9.5 hours back to Atlanta. And first thing in the morning, I shall be in a meeting as soon as I shower, get ready, drop all my stuff at work. So I'm glad I could share you this trip with you guys. Enjoy. Yeah.